Hey, thanks for tuning in. Today I'm really excited to be talking about the Leftover Culture Review video game Mall Madness. I am ready to release it to you guys first because you guys watch the channel. Link in the description. Check out the trailer. Let me know what you think because I am super excited.
For just $6.97.
But don't wait too long. This sale ends Saturday.
So look, that's it. It's a Wolfenstein 3D style shooter. It's Windows only at this point, which does kind of suck. But it was a really fun project to put together, and I just wanted to have something fun to share with you guys as well. The way it works is you hit the link, you put in your email address. Once you confirm your email, you'll be sent to the page where you can download the game. The reason I want your email address is because if there's any updates to the game, if I ever get around to releasing a full version, as well as sending you updates from the Leftover Culture Review website. So you can opt out of these updates at any time. You're not bound to anything. I'm not going to be using your email address for a nefarious purpose. I'm not 100% confident with YouTube and the way they're serving up their videos. This just feels like a really good way to get in touch with you guys without having to go through that YouTube filter. So yeah, that's it. The Leftover Culture Review video game based on Bruiser. And I wanted to take the opportunity to talk a little bit about Bruiser as a character, because Bruiser is me. And it's a really sort of exaggerated version of me, because when I started the channel, I wanted to keep it very positive. I really enjoy video games. I really enjoy playing video games and talking about video games, and I felt like I had a lot of really positive things to say about video games people were unhappy with, unsatisfied with. So through Bruiser, the excited version, basically me back in the 90s, when we were kids and we used to talk about exciting video games, stuff that was happening, games we were playing at the time, we didn't have the internet, so information didn't travel quite as quickly. You'd hear about ads, you'd see new video game consoles and gameplay footage, and everything looked amazing. Nothing looked like trash. Nothing felt like trash. I can't remember any games when I was a kid that I was really critical of, because all of them were amazing to me, and I wanted to bring that energy, enthusiasm and excitement to the Leftover Culture Review. So through Bruiser, I really wanted the Leftover Culture Review to do that. I wanted to be able to talk about video games in a really exciting and a really fun manner, and some people really got on board with it. Some people just want to make fun of the way I say Jaguar, which is totally fine as well. For the record though, I've heard a lot more different pronunciations of Jaguar in America than I ever have throughout Australia and in the UK. We call it Jaguar, and everyone in Australia calls it Jaguar. In the US, it sounds like you've got Jaguar, 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 I think. So Bruiser is a really exciting character for me to talk about, and something happened a few years ago where Ed Kersley, he's got a comic book that he's working on at the moment called Radical. I'm going to have a link in the description to his Facebook page. He's a really talented guy, and I really have enjoyed talking and working with him and fleshing out the Bruiser character. He wanted to make a Bruiser comic book, and I really loved the idea, and we started talking about who Bruiser is and the sort of adventures that Bruiser would go on. So he's a street fighting vigilante who lives with his mum, and he has to follow his mum's rules, but he's willing to break them to make himself feel good and feel important. His imagination always, gets the best of him, and he always runs wild with his imagination. He always likes making his really big stories about himself. And he's just a kind of a weird character. Man-child, I guess, is a great way to sum it up. And in a lot of ways, that's that's what I am. It was really fun to talk about an exaggerated version of myself with Ed and talking about the Bruiser character. And he's been helping me both with the artwork for the video game, which you'll see on the landing page, as well as the comic book he helped create. He did the artwork and the story for the Bruiser comic book. So he's been really fun to work with and really trying to understand what Bruiser is and why he's so fun to talk about. I also wanted to shout out to a Queensland musician who's been helping me with the soundtrack for the Leftover Culture Review video game Mall Madness. He's done the theme and the menu music for it. Guy named James Jupiter, link is in the description. He's a really good guy, really talented, and I really appreciate his help on the project as well. I really wanted this to feel like a polished game. Even though I was creating a Wolfenstein 3D style game, I was using a pre-built game engine. All I was doing was plugging in the assets. A lot of them, you know, I've been drawing myself, little sprites and stuff, so a lot of love went into the game, but I really wanted it to feel polished as well. It's 5 enemies, 4 weapons, 3 levels long. It really feels like at this stage it's a complete game, and it's how I envision Mall Madness looking, but there's not that much further I can take it. I've been dreaming about the idea of releasing a full game around this Mall Madness idea, and I still might explore doing that, but it won't be through a Wolfenstein 3D clone. The sprites are only 64 by 64, so it's like a really authentic way to build a Wolfenstein 3D clone game, but there's a lot of limitations in what you can and can't do. So this game was really fun to put together. It's free to download, and I'm really excited that I'm able to release it and send it out to you guys as well. I really appreciate you guys watching the show, coming back to it again and again, and even the comments you guys leave. Even if they're not always loving comments, some of them have been a little bit critical, or ideas and stuff that I have done better in the past or I should be improving on. Sound has been a massive one. I really apologize to anyone who's had problems with my sound editing in the past. There's no excuses for bad sound, but mine is that I edit on the train. That's when I have the most time to do editing. It's a bad excuse. It's not a good excuse, and I shouldn't be having one at all. But if there's real serious problems with the sound, I have, you know, taken down episodes in the past and put up a fixed version in the future. So look, I do apologize for the mistakes. I'm glad you guys are calling me out for it and not letting me get away with terrible editing. That shows a lot of love. So I really appreciate everyone watching. Let me know what you think of the game. Again, and thank you guys so much for hanging around. Really appreciate it. Cheers.